Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marotti.
And this is WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
Tony, the fans might have missed you back on January 19th. We had a little bit of snow in the Boston area, but you're going to be back Friday night, March the 1st, right here at MWF Studios. We want the fans to come down. Admission is free.
Yes, and not only that, Boston Media is the best. Is the beast of the East. SOS, simply out of sight. Often imitated, but never duplicated.
I don't think anyone could duplicate what you and I created.
No, because it's raw.
Because I'll tell you this, there's many...
No strip, just say what we think, say what we mean. It's raw.
Many people tried to copy what we did with the Iron Sheik in this studio, and they were never able to get the recipe right, so to speak.
Right. The original is always better than the rest.
Absolutely. Tony will also be available for autographs and pose photos for a nominal fee. And again, while admission is free, we want you to come on down to the TV studio. Whether you're in Boston or anywhere around the world, we need as much fan support as possible. We have great items for sale on BostonWrestling.com. We're starting to use eBay more. The more fans that participate in getting these shows produced, the more Tony will be here. I know, Tony, our goal has been to try and get you here on a weekly basis if the fans will support.
Yes. You know, and one thing about Boston Media that it does for a lot of us legends, Vince does a lot for us, but he keeps us undercover a lot. But with Boston Media, you can get to see Tony, you get to see the Iron Sheik, you can get to see the Tito Santana, and come and meet us live and listen to some of our stories, because some of the things that we did in our younger days, a lot of it being legal today, first of all.
Very true.
But it was a different world, and I was lucky to see the old world and see the coming of the new world.
WWE isn't going to produce a 3-DVD set for every superstar they ever had under contract. That's why these types of shows are so important, especially where we lose so many legends on a yearly basis. So again, we send out the invitation to you Friday night, March the 1st, right here at MWF Studios, Melrose, Massachusetts. Check out BostonWrestling.com for complete event information. Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marotti.
And I'm Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
It took him a second.
Always does.
Before we get to this great full-length episode of Memories and Legends, check out some of our great friends you can help support the cause to keep more Memories and Legends coming your way.
Infinity Key, a truly natural online language training experience. 25,000 minutes, that's what you'll need to invest. Invest 25,000 minutes with Infinity Key, and we'll build you a portfolio of language experiences designed to accelerate your personal progress. Your coach will help you strike the right balance between passive acquisition and active application of your target language. InvestKey's algorithms and coaches guide you along the clearest, quickest path forward on your journey to fluency. Visit www.infinitykey.rocks for more information, and follow Infinity Key on Facebook at facebook.com/InfinityKey.
He is the People's Champion, the Brahma Bull, the Great One. And this,
finally, The Rock has come back!
Is his story. Journey alongside the millions in this definitive guide to
The most electrifying man in sports and entertainment!
See The Rock.
It's just a man!
Like you've never seen him before.
But The Rock is cooking!
The World of The Rock. Available now.
Wrestling fans, check out the brand new lapel pin from our friends at Crimson Mask. Inspired by Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon, it's Bang 316. Only $8 each or 2 for $12. If you think it makes a great holiday gift, give me a hell yeah. Get yours today at crimsonmask.bigcartel.com.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, welcome to another installment of Memories and Legends. I'm Dan Marotti, joined
And I'm
by
Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
the man with the biggest guns this side of the Mississippi.
And the other side, too.
All right, Tony, it is February here. We got the sweater on. It's getting a little chilly.
I still got my USA jacket,
That's right, baby.
Look at
You
here.
love this country.
Look at that jacket.
You are Mr. USA.
USA. USA. Something wrong with Tony. USA. See
All
that
right.
USA? There you go, baby. Home of the brave and the free.
All right.
Whoa, somebody want to call me?
Well, we don't even want to. Who do we got, Tony? Who do we got? Anyone good?
Somebody from Florida.
Someone who?
You want to talk to him?
See who it is.
I'm
Maybe
going
it's
to
a
see who
friend.
it is.
You never know what to
Hello.
expect on this show.
Hello, Tony. Is this Tony Atlas?
Hi, Sheila. Sheila, believe it or not, you on TV with me right now. This is Rocky Johnson's wife.
Oh, bye, Mrs.
Oh
Johnson.
my gosh.
Yeah, you got to go on the internet and look up Boston wrestling. Right now, I'm doing an interview.
Well, I need you to answer one question for me.
Okay, but you're on speaker now. Sheila.
I don't care.
Okay, go ahead and ask me real quick.
How long were you and Rocky Johnson tag team partners?
Oh, Dan can answer that. Dan, how long me and Rocky had the belt?
I'll hold the belts. Not that long at all. 83 into 84.
Dan said it was like 1 year.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, because when it was at the question, I received in a text, and I asked Rocky, and he said, I think around 14, he said, I'd said around about 14 months, but I thought I'd call and verify it with you as well.
Well, Rocky probably right. He probably right.
All right, then.
Okay. Hey.
Please,
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. You in the Rock.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and be sure and give Monica a hug and a kiss for me when you get back home.
I will, but she got to pay.
Tony, you be nice to her now.
I sure will. I'll talk to you later, Sheila. I've got to get back to this interview.
Okay, that's
Oh.
the only thing I needed. No,
Yeah,
thank you.
tell Rocky I say hi.
I sure will.
Okay.
I definitely will.
All right. Bye-bye.
Well, Tony, we never know who we're going to hear from or see on one of these
No,
shows.
that was Rocky Johnson's wife, Sheila.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
That would be
and me and Rocky, we keep in contact with each other around the holiday. We call each other, we say hi, and we chit-chat a little bit. And it's good. During the time, me and Rocky, we had our run-in. Me and other guys, we had our run-in. But now, we don't bury the hatchet, and we get along great. It's like people ask me about Vince McMahon. They say, how come you never badmouth Vince? I said, I have no reason to. We had our differences in the past, but he's a human being just like I am. And he had brought me back.
Gave you a couple of paydays.
Gave me a couple of paydays, and right now I still get royalty checks from WWE. I've been features on, like you said, 24/7. I'm on the Legend House, and gave me a Legend House break. So I have no regrets.
All right, Tony, it is the great month of February. Again, it's a little chilly here in New England, but it's also something that's very important. I think it should be very important to everybody. It's Black History Month. So we decided to take our version of the Hall of Fame name game and talk about your interactions, your experiences, and the careers of 4 great African-American veterans that competed here in the King of Sports Professional
Sound good to
Wrestling.
me.
Let's start off with a man that I have to say, Tony, when I met the man in person at the Cauliflower Alley Club reunion in Las Vegas, I think 2005, had the biggest head I've ever seen. It almost reminded me of...
Tony Atlas?
No, almost like when you'd go to Disney World and you'd see a Mickey Mouse dressed up with the big head on top. I'm talking about the big cat, Ernie Ladd.
My goodness. Ernie Ladd, I would say Ernie Ladd, not only was he an outstanding football player, but Ernie Ladd was an outstanding wrestler. He was very generous. He could have ran in the ring and mopped up the ring with just about anybody he wrestled. But Ernie would take you out there, he would make you look like $1 million. He was very generous. Ernie Ladd, I talked to Cowboy Bill Watts. And Bill Watts told me out of his own mouth. He said, Tony, I was the most radical person you ever want to meet. He said, I was involved with white supremacy and everything else for years. He said, I met Ernie Ladd, and Ernie changed my life. He made Ernie Ladd the first and only black booker. He made Junkyard Dog, not Junkyard Dog, but he made Junkyard Dog a superstar. He made Ron Summers the first African-American world champion. Bill Watts was one of the most smartest, intelligent men that ever been in this business. Now, one thing about Bill Watts that he was famous for, like if we got in a fight in the dressing room, Bill would say, let him fight. Bill Watts was known to have fights in his dressing room. You have a disagreement, Bill says, settle it. We move the tables, move the chair, guys would fist fight right in the dressing room. But then when the fight was over, Bill didn't want to hear no more about it. It was over. He was always honest, never cheated nobody, was a hell of a promoter, and now he had turned his life over to Christ. I saw him last year. We was in New Orleans.
Yeah,
WrestleMania.
right. Yep. He was right across from us.
And I got to see Bill Watts. I have the utmost respect for Cowboy Bill Watts for what he did for Ernie Ladd. Ernie Ladd also had great respect with Vince McMahon Sr. When I went to the WWF, Vince Sr. told me out of his own mouth, said, Tony, the reason we brought you in because of Ernie Ladd. He said he talked to us and said that we should take a look at you. He said the reason you're here now is because of Ernie Ladd. So Ernie Ladd, he deserved to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. He deserved to be in the Football Hall of Fame. And it was a great access. I just wish more people had got to meet him. 6'9", 310 pounds, And if you ever listen to the interview, he would go, Tony Atlas, y'all let me tell y'all something, boy. If you don't know who Ernie the Cat Ladd is, I'll give you a dime and you can call somebody. Ernie the Cat Ladd. A wonderful friend, a great human being. I can't say enough about it. He just was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person.
One of the few people, I think, that ever left professional football to go into professional wrestling full-time, because at the time he made more money in pro wrestling than he did in football. Is that true?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, he did, yeah. Yeah, he did, yeah.
Headliner wherever he went.
Yeah.
Big runs and so many promotions.
Wrestled against Andre the Giant and a lot of all the greats, Harley Race, Rassamee, Tommy Rich. I mean, just about every wrestler in the world that sometimes stepped in the ring with Ernie the Cat Ladd.
Let me ask you this one, Tony. I'm not sure if it was before your time. I'm going to think just a little bit before you went to WWF for the first time. Ladd, Ivan Koloff, and Billy Graham disagreed with the pay structure they were receiving for the shows, and they went to Vince McMahon Sr. and demanded that they all be paid the same for each show. Were you around for that, or was that before your time?
Probably before my time.
Do you ever remember hearing something like that?
No.
He was very big on some structure for the talent, I guess is a good way to put it.
Well, Ernie was a type of man that he would put his neck on the chopping block for you. If he feels that you should deserve a break and you are not getting it, he will go and discuss it, and most bookers wouldn't do that. Mm-hmm. They would never put their neck on the chopping block for someone else, see? So he was good for that, yeah.
I don't know if the story was in your book. God bless you, sir. But he had a memorable run-in with the Briscoes.
Yes.
Down in Florida. Was that in your book?
Well, excuse me, folks. What happened was, Ernie was wrestling my partner, Rocky Johnson. And Ernie was leaving. And Ernie was going to lose the match to Rocky Johnson. Well, Ernie said, I don't mind losing, but don't film it. He said, just don't put it on tape. He said, but I put him over. So Ernie was wrestling. He saw the, excuse me, he saw the red light come on. So Ernie rolled out of the ring and got counted out. Well, later on that night, the Briscoe called him up. And they said, Ernie, we want to talk to you. We want to celebrate your leaving. So Ernie would go to the office about 12 o'clock at night to celebrate with the Briscoe. So they were sitting in the car smoking weed. So Ernie was listening to them talk. And Ernie, one of them said something that struck Ernie kind of strange. They said, well, you know, Ernie, you screwed us around on that deal. You know, we were trying to get Rocky Johnson over, and by you doing the count out, it messed up everything, you know. Now we got to have because he didn't beat you for the title, now we got to have a tournament and put the belt up, because you can't win the title on a count out. So they started talking about this match. So Ernie said, well, I tell you what, I got some real good stuff in the back, you know. He said, let me go get it. So he got out the car, he opened up his trunk. Jack Briscoe came around on this side, Jerry Briscoe came on this side, and they were going to beat up Ernie. Well, Ernie started thinking, because Eddie Graham was known for keeping shooters around, that when guys screw up, he'd call them to the office late at night and get them beat up.
Right.
So Jack and Jerry Briscoe were supposed to beat up Ernie that night. When they came from, he took his jack. These old cars used to have a jack in it. He hit Jack in the head, knocked him out, hit Jerry in the head, knocked him out. Then he pulled off to leave him. But he started thinking, he said, they could come too, and they could call the state patrol on me, they could arrest me before I get out of Florida. So he put him in the back seat of his car, drove around until he saw a policeman, told the policeman, said, these two guys tried to jump me. And the policeman took him and locked him up that night. But he beat up both Jack and Jerry Briscoe. But they were going to beat him up because they was known for doing that.
Really?
Oh, yeah, like if you do something that they didn't like, they would call you to the office, and they would have what they call shooters, like Bob Root and guys like that, just to take out the back and just beat the crap out of you.
Did you have much of a run in Florida?
No, because
Florida, you know what? I think I know the reason why, but I'm going to be interested in your response.
Dusty Rhodes.
That's what my thought was.
Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes blocked every black person from Florida.
Because he wanted to be the black person.
Well, that was his gimmick.
Yeah.
That was his gimmick. So he pretended he did a black gimmick. So I didn't do good in Texas because of Curry Von Erich.
Why?
I was a muscle man. Curry Von Erich was a muscle man. See, and that's how it was. If you were Japanese, you would not go do good in WWF with Fuji there.
Right.
Fuji did everything in his power to get rid of Tora Tanaka.
Did he?
Fuji did, yes. Fuji, I was there with Fuji, badmouth Saito every day. Every day he badmouthed to get rid of Saito.
What, did that benefit
Chief
Fuji?
Chief J Strongbow kept Wahoo McDaniels out. He kept every wrestler out. Luckily, when Tatanka went, Chief was out of the ring.
Right.
Luckily for Tatanka, that's the only way Tatanka got in there. But Chief, anybody that was black would keep other blacks out. Anybody that is Chinese would keep other Chinese out. Chief J Strongbow destroyed the career of thousands of Native Americans.
Thousands of Native Americans.
But think about how many years.
I don't think I could name you a dozen Native Americans.
Thousands of them.
But he wasn't even an Indian. He was Italian.
He blocked the door.
But Chief J Strongbow blocked the door for thousands of Native American wrestlers.
Fuji did the same thing. Fuji did the same thing.
I was going to ask you a minute ago about Fuji. Did that really help his cause? Because he was getting up there in age when he was teaming with Tanaka
That's when they got
Saito.
worse at it. That's when they got worse at it. That's why I had so much problem as a young black man with blacks. See, couldn't nobody take a black person's place but another black person.
Right.
See? And most of the guys that was on top was older than me. Thunderbolt Patterson, Rocky Johnson, all them guys was older than me. The only guy that did not try to jerk me around was Rufus R. Jones, Ernie Ladd, and S.D. Jones. That was it. Of all the black wrestlers.
Wow.
You notice I didn't bring up Junkyard Dog.
Well, we're going to get into JYD, Tony. Sometimes you just got to follow the lead a little bit. With Ernie Ladd, though, what kind of a legacy does that man leave behind, in your opinion?
Underrated.
Underrated. In the ring?
No, he's been underrated his whole career, in my opinion.
What about as a booker?
Well, just stop to think about it. Until tonight, whoever mentioned this man, it was like he never existed.
He exists to us.
That's what I mean. If you didn't bring his name up to today, who would have brought it up?
No one would really care.
Here's a guy that in the Hall of Fame, one of the first big man, the first 300-pounder to play.
Yeah.
Wrestle all over the world, you know?
Is he in the AFL Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
He is. He was big. I think it was the San Diego Chargers.
That's
he
right,
played
that's
on.
right,
Yep,
that's
yep.
right. How can you do so much and be talking about so little? He was one of the most underrated wrestlers that this business ever seen, in my opinion.
Do you think he was able to help out the African-American wrestlers when he
yes.
was a booker? Do you think
Oh,
he went
yes.
out of his way to do that?
Oh, yes.
Did he? Okay.
But Ernie didn't look at color. Ernie was a Christian. Ernie helped Ted DiBiase, Buck Robley, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Jake the Snake.
All right.
He was a booker then. He made
I'm just
Ted
interested
DiBiase,
in your point of
He was
view.
a booker and made Ted DiBiase a king. Loved Ted DiBiase. That's Ted DiBiase about him, if you ever say about Ernie Ladd.
This is a guy I would have loved to have had here in the studio. He must have had, anytime you could really sit down and pick the brain of a booker, especially in the
Yeah.
territory days,
Yeah.
this is someone you can really learn an awful lot
That's right,
from.
that's right. Look at, when you look at Ernie Ladd, when he was a booker, the Great Kamada, that was Ernie doing. Ernie Ladd did the Great Kamada. He took good care of Kamada. Thunderbolt Patterson, he took care of Thunderbolt Patterson. He took care of Tony Atlas. Ernie took care of everybody, white or black. With Ernie Ladd, you wasn't black, you wasn't white. But if you was not a good wrestler, if you could not wrestle, Ernie Ladd would come and say, "Has the promoter paid you for that match?" And the guy said, "Yeah, he paid me." "You're stealing money." If you got paid for that match, you're stealing money.
I like that imitation. That's actually pretty good.
You're stealing money.
Any memories that you had directly with Ernie?
Uh,
Did you ever travel with him at all?
never.
You only interacted with him as a peer, or
My-
was him booking you?
I would say the moment that stick out the most with me with Ernie Ladd was his passing.
When he passed away? Why is that?
I saw him at a convention before he passed away, and what that cancer did to him. He died of cancer.
Yeah,
so.
I knew that.
And I saw this big man that could not walk the length of the hall without stopping and catching his breath. I watched this big man ask me to go get him some scrambled eggs. And then I called him, and he said, "Tony," I said, "I hope I'm not disturbing." He said, "Tony, you call me anytime you want." So about once a week I called Ernie, and then one week I called his sister pick up, and I knew right then.
Did he had already passed?
I knew that. Because Ernie always picked up his phone. And when she picked up his phone, I knew he wasn't there no more.
Well, we lost
That
it.
was about the thing, because he was such a warm, giving. If you ever hear the term a gentle giant, that was Ernie Ladd.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, well, wrestling fans, that is just the tip of the iceberg on this month's special installment of Memories and Legends as we look back at some of the great African-American superstars as part of Black History Month. Stand by. We'll be back after this brief timeout.
Lafayette on Monday, February 18th. Feel the thrill as Monday Night Raw returns. Witness Seth Rollins collide with Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship. Plus, Finn Balor and Elias battle Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley in a tag team match. And don't miss Ronda Rousey and many more. It's WWE Raw live in Lafayette, Monday, February 18th. Tickets and ringside packages are available.
See the moments
Generation X invades WCW.
you'll always remember like never before.
Occupy Raw has taken over.
With Raw, the first 25 years, packed with rare photos, profiles of your favorite superstars, and so much more. From the very first Raw to the 25th anniversary, it's the ultimate guide to WWE's flagship show. Raw, the first 25 years. Available now.
Wrestling fans, welcome back as we continue this special February edition of Memories and Legends. The Hall of Famer is sipping away at his coffee as we discuss
I got a little rum in there.
I wish I had some rum in
Whoopee!
mine. That'll be after the show. Tony, we talked about the big cat Ernie Ladd. What about one of his fellow Hall of Famers, a man you were around towards the tail end of your run in WWF, the Birdman Koko B. Ware?
Now, I hit a blank.
You hit a blank.
I got to know Koko after his career. I hit a blank.
Now, how did you get to know him after his career?
Well, I see him in conventions. You know, we talk a little bit in conventions, but during his time with the WWF when he was there, I wasn't around him.
He was coming in '86 pretty much just as you were headed up.
Yeah, but he was tag team with Orndorff.
Well, that was during your Saba Simba time.
Yeah, but that the only time I really, and I didn't travel with him. So with Koko, he's a wonderful guy. I mean, when I talk to him, I like him. I like Koko a lot. And he called me occasionally, I call him. But we really developed a relationship after our career, but not doing so. I can't talk much on Koko, except I like him. I think he's a decent guy. I was there when he beat up Jim Troy.
No, that's a great story.
Yeah, when he beat up Jim
Now,
Troy.
people probably saying, who the hell is Jim Troy?
Jim Troy was a hockey player that got a job. It took Mr. Haiti's place, running the Caribbean for this. And he was sitting in the bar one night talking about how much hockey players are tougher than wrestlers. And he didn't start with Koko. It started with Shawn Michaels. It started with Shawn Michaels. And somehow Koko went over to stop it, and it ended up with Koko. So Koko beat Jim Troy up, and Vince fired Koko.
For a short period of time. I think it happened on one of the European tours, if I remember right.
Yeah, beat him up, yeah.
Did he get him good?
Oh, yeah. Koko's a fight. He's a hell of a fighter.
Is he?
Hell of a little fighter.
Kind of a spark plug, because he's not the biggest guy you'd ever seen.
You don't want to fight him, though.
Yeah.
Like Mad Dog Vachon wasn't very big, but you didn't want to fight him.
And a hell of a singer, too.
Yeah.
He put together a lot of memorable tunes back in the late 80s. He sang his own theme song, amongst others.
Yeah, I didn't spend much time with Koko.
What about a man that you had told me yourself that you've traveled with? Another one of your Hall of Fame peers, a man not really known for anything in-ring, mostly outside of the ring, Teddy Long.
Oh, I love Teddy. Teddy, my man. Teddy, I'll tell you a funny story about Teddy. I used to like teasing Teddy a lot. So everybody out there in the wrestling world knew I had this foot fetish. I like for women to walk on it. They got nice tennis shoes. So we go to the gym one day, and I'll play a joke on Teddy. And I see this old lady. She got to be about 90 years old. And she's walking with a walker, real slow. And so I said, Teddy, look at her. He go, what? I said, look at her. He said, you mean that old lady? I said, yeah. I said, look at them shoes. I said, she got some nice shoes, doesn't she, Teddy? I said, pull over. I'm going to get her to walk on me. You're not going to get her to walk on you. She's going to fall and break her neck. She's going to sue Vince. He was so serious. He got so mad at me. He said, you're going to get yourself sued. You're going to get Vince sued. Vince going to fire you, sue the lawsuit. Imagine she walking on, she's going to fall and break her neck. And then another time, we coming here to Boston. Coming to Boston. And we go to the hotel right here, the Red Roof Inn. And we drive into Boston, we go to stay over, and it's snowing. And we stop, me and Boogie, the Boogeyman.
Boogeyman, yeah.
The Boogeyman. We stop to get something to eat. Teddy, you want something to eat? No, I'm good. So we go on. We stop again to get gas. We got a little snack. Teddy, you gonna get something? No, I'm good. So we drive some more. I get within 10 minutes from the hotel. My GPS said 10 minutes. Snowing like hell. I've been driving in this snow. I want to get out of the snow. We 10 minutes from the hotel. we pull in. Teddy said, I got to pee. So he gets out, and he said, well, I'm going to get me a sandwich now. He said, I'm hungry now. I'm going to get something. I said, Teddy, we asked you twice for something to eat. I said, now we're 10 minutes from the hotel. I said, you had all day to get yourself something to eat. So I said, I'm leaving. So he gets in the car. He said, well, I don't want nothing to eat now. So he gets in the car. I said, well, you get something to get to the hotel. I said, right next door, they got a great, Chinese restaurant, Kalua. So he get there, he storm up to his room. The next morning, Boogie meet me in the hallway to go to the garden. Teddy catch a cab. He was going to ride to me. So later on that night, I always make me a sandwich, go to the canteen and make me a sandwich, take back to the room with me. So one of the referees there, he come up to me, he saw me making that sandwich, and he said, Tony, you had all day to make yourself a sandwich. I said, that damn Teddy told you, did he? He went around the whole dressing room and told me I wouldn't let him eat. He said, ride that Tony, we don't let you eat, don't let you pee. He complained the whole time about that.
Just that one time?
Yeah.
I've heard from several of our mutual friends that Teddy was a rather cheap individual. Is that true?
I wouldn't say cheap. I would say more smart.
Smart. Oh, just explain smart.
See, a lot of times we wrestlers call somebody cheap. If a person is cautious with his money, other wrestler who was, like, for example, we was raised up in the era of Ric Flair. Mm-hmm. Ric Flair would go into, now this is back in the 70s, we spent $300 in the bar. In a bar. Just in beer. $300 a night. It was nothing. That was 7 days a week.
It's a lot
7 times 3, that's $2,000. $2,000 a week on alcohol.
Booze.
On booze. So Teddy would pay for his hotel, his rental car, and his food.
That was it.
That was it.
What
And
about?
they called him cheap for doing that. He wouldn't go out and spend a bunch of money in the bars. He wouldn't hang out in nightclubs. He just wouldn't do that stuff. That was just Teddy.
He was known to some that he'd fall asleep as you would approach the toll booth. Is that true?
He did what now?
He'd fall asleep as you approached the toll booth, so he wouldn't have to contribute to the highway toll.
Well, no, not with me, he didn't.
No, he actually contributed to the tolls.
Well, no. But see what did, Teddy was old school. At the end of the trip, you pay trans.
Oh, he'd give it to you all in one lump sum.
Yeah, at the end of the trip.
Who did the driving, you or him?
We took turns.
You took turns.
Yeah, I would drive some, he would drive some. Yeah, we took turns, but like when we get a rental car, let's say the rental car is $100. If the rental car is in Teddy's name, I know I got to give him 50 for the rental car.
Right.
We split everything 50-50.
Would it be just you two guys driving together, or would you kind of...
Sometimes we had the boogeyman if we have other people with us. Yep. Teddy would travel. Teddy did not like staying at a hotel with all the other wrestlers.
Why was that?
Because he was smart. He knew the less the boys knew about you, the better off you were.
It's a good philosophy.
See, the safest spot for a wrestler is in the ring. The most unsafe spot for a wrestler is in the car and in the dressing room.
Did you trust Teddy?
No.
You didn't trust Teddy?
No.
Why was that?
He was a wrestler.
No. Well, not an actual wrestler, but...
Don't matter.
And what about Boogie?
No.
Because he was a wrestler.
No. I ain't trust no wrestler.
Would you consider them friends?
Business associates.
Not friends.
No.
Happy to see them both. It was funny. We actually, right down the street at Memorial Hall, we had an event that had all... God bless you, sir. All three of you on. Boogie, you, and Teddy.
We business associates.
Yeah.
We're not friends.
You still keep in contact with
I
them?
never had a friend in wrestling.
Yes, you have.
Never.
SD?
No.
SD wasn't your friend.
Business associate.
Well.
He just never screwed me.
Oh, okay.
Okay? I always say SD never screwed me. I never say he was my friend.
He let you live in his home.
He still was not my friend.
He was not your friend. Interesting. All right.
When it came down to me and him, they kicked me to the curb every time.
Who, SD?
Any
or anybody?
wrestler will.
Anybody. Well, I mean, I think that goes for...
See, but this is what people don't understand about wrestling.
Here we go.
Let's say you're a wrestler.
Right.
and I'm a wrestler. And that gentleman there is a wrestler.
All right.
In the wrestling world, you Burger King, I'm McDonald's, he's Wendy. You self-employed.
Right.
That's what keeps us from being friends. And Mad Dog Vachon put it, it's a dog-eat-dog world, and you have to get your bite out of it. Once you leave that dressing room and not with that organization no more, nobody will pick up the phone. You done.
Don't you still speak to Teddy now?
Well, he's not there no more.
Oh, okay. So when he was still with them, you didn't hear from him? Really?
They ain't talking to you. It's like it with all of them.
Like who?
Every wrestler is like that. Not just Teddy. Every wrestler is like that. Once you leave the WWF, they will not talk to you no more. It's like you never was there. Every man for himself. And once you start thinking this guy is your friend, that's when you set yourself up for a big, without even a kiss.
Really?
I learned that the hard way. I wrote in my book, I became homeless. I knew more millionaires than Rockefeller and couldn't bum a quarter.
But, and as I remember, we had this conversation before, Tony, and I said, when you were homeless living under a park bench, how would someone find you? This wasn't the day of cell phones. You were in the middle of Maine, where probably most of the millionaires you knew didn't even know you were there.
Vince
at that
called
point.
the police department.
Oh, well, there was a millionaire that found you.
Yeah, but to do a show. But what I'm saying, I couldn't bum a quarter. I knew Hogan. I knew Stone Cold. I could name all the guys.
Stone Cold was a nobody when that happened, when you were homeless.
What I'm saying, I knew a lot of people.
Did you reach out to them, in fairness?
It was well known.
It was well known.
It was
but
not
let's
no
just
secret.
say I'm Hogan and I want
It was not no real secret. You were just voted. Mario put it on his television and everything. Mario tried to get people to help me and everything. They all tear Mario down.
If Hogan wanted to, per se, help you out, how would he find you if you were living under a park bench?
He could have. Mario.
Do you think he even knew
I was
you were living under a bench?
Because Mario Savoti had me on ICW TV. I was homeless when I wrestled with you guys. Ask Mario. That's why I was so skinny when y'all saw me there.
They publicized the homelessness on ICW
No, but
TV?
Mario knew.
I know he knew. But,
Yeah.
But it's not like it was something a fact he was promoting that his champion
But the
lived
way
in a
I
box.
said, I called people. They wouldn't pick up the phone.
Who did you try to call?
About everybody that was in my book.
Yeah. You had the book with you.
Yeah, I
in the
still
box.
got the same book at home with all the wrestler numbers in it. Couldn't get not one of them because we had changed numbers because we rode together. So I still got a bunch of numbers. A lot of them probably don't work today because
exactly.
they're all home phone. Everybody got a cell phone now. But I could bring my book on there. I can show you all the numbers of people I called. Ain't nobody pick up no phone.
Well, at the same time, this was also in an era when the guys were on the road for weeks and weeks at a time. How do you know they just weren't home?
Nothing changed, but I just left there. Nothing changed.
All right, that's true. You had the more recent run, too.
And nothing changed. Same thing.
All right. Well, Teddy Long's contributions, he kind of broke.
The only guy that I could call that will return my call was Mark Henry and Teddy.
Shelton
Benton would. But that was it.
That was it.
All the rest, no, they ain't gonna pick up no phone.
Well, I'll always pick up for
Yeah,
you.
they
I
don't
know it
pick up
doesn't
phone.
mean much, but
One of my best friends, Cactus Jack, he wouldn't pick up no phone.
you tried to reach out to him.
Oh, yeah, he didn't pick up no phone. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Mario was calling people for me. Yeah. Mario went to the office and talked to Vince for me. Mario did that, so voted. Sure did. Tony Romo tried to talk to people for me. When he was with, he tried to get me with WCW back when Kevin Sullivan was running it.
Kevin was booking.
That's right. Tony tried his best to get me down in there. Yeah.
Well, you had a lot left to contribute.
That's
but
right.
as far as Teddy Long goes, kind of an interesting career. He broke in as a ring guy with Dusty. He worked behind the scenes, then eventually established himself as a referee. Manager, he turned heel on the Road Warriors.
He's the most talented person Vince ever booked.
Why is that?
His brain.
Teddy Long.
He's incredibly intelligent.
Really?
This is what Teddy could do that I see nobody else do. I put this in my book.
All right.
Most of what the guys do now is buy a strip. They would give Teddy a strip at 12 o'clock. have him to study it, to rehearse it all day long. 5 minutes before Teddy walked through that curtain, Vince would call Teddy. Teddy, you remember that strip they gave you? Teddy goes, yes, sir. Forget about it. We're not doing none of it. This is what I want you to do. Now get out there.
And he'd wing it?
And he could do it.
The old school promos.
I didn't see nobody else could do that.
He had a couple of bullet points and he went with it.
It was funny the night he did that to me.
Who, Vince?
No, Vince did that to me.
How?
I went out there, couldn't remember a damn thing.
They gave you, this is your 2008 run?
No, 2009 when I was Abraham Washington.
So he gave you a script?
See, it's supposed to be John Mossy and the Miz. So I practiced John Mossy and the Miz. You know what I said? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Abraham Washington show. Our guest tonight is the Miz and John Mossy. Well, anyway, they gave me some new guy just walked through the door. I didn't even see the guy. They said, Tony, they changed the guest. You got to do these two guys. And I got out there. I said, our guest tonight is. Damn, I'm going to lose my job for this shit. Well, here's Abe. I said it on tape.
You forgot who it was?
I couldn't remember them guys' name to save my life.
Who was it? Do you remember now?
I still don't know. They wrestled there for a while. But I came to the back. All the wrestlers, they said, Tony, you funny as hell. They thought I was playing. They didn't know I was for real. They thought I was just doing it to make humor.
Oh, I got to find that on video.
Yeah, I couldn't remember their name because they told me 2 minutes before I walk out, they said, we're not doing the Miz and John Moss, we're going to do these. And one guy like Roman Reigns, got like a long name or something. An Italian name. I couldn't remember that kid's name to save my life. And when I got out there, they go, and I go, our guest tonight is, and you see my face, I'm getting mad. I almost walked off the stage. Finally Vince saw what was going on, so Vince sent Abe out. And Abe came and said, Tony Atlas, you're getting old, you're losing your memory. And he had to do it. I couldn't remember for nothing. I told Vince, don't do that to me no more. But he does it to Teddy all the time. Have Teddy study for something all day long and change it 2 minutes before he walked through the door.
Teddy was able to execute it a little bit better than you did on the Abraham Washington
Teddy could do
show.
it better than anybody.
I need to find out who this was that you forgot. And
you gotta
still to this day forgot.
You got to ask. That, when I went by the dressing room, everybody was patting my back. Said, great show, Tony. You did. They said, that was funny as hell. That was the funniest show ever. I said, what was so funny? They said, the way you was acting like you don't remember. I said, I didn't remember.
Oh, my God.
What do you mean I was acting? I was serious. I couldn't remember them kids' names. I didn't know who the hell that was. Scared the hell out of me with that stuff.
And did you get any backlash for it?
No, Vince, they winged it.
They wound up, it seemed like they
used it anyway.
They had a little fun with it.
Yeah, they had a little fun with it. Yeah.
Did Vince continue?
They wrote another script that told Abraham Washington to talk about how stupid I was and how, that was okay, though.
Did they continue to give you scripts for the promos?
No.
Bullet points at that point?
That was it. They said, Tony, no more script for Tony. They ain't going to remember none of it. One guy said, well, we got this is Tony Ladd. And Vince said, oh, don't give it to him. He's going to fuck it up. I'm used to ad-libbing. I'm not used to, I can't go by a script.
Right.
I got to be me.
That's just how you work.
Right. I'm at my best when I'm myself. I'm not good when somebody says, Tony, read this. Because there's somebody else's word and somebody else's thought, somebody else, everything. And I'm trying to do something that not is here.
Well, that's why we don't script anything.
Yeah, well, script ain't gonna work with me.
You just kind of go with the flow.
Yeah.
All right, Tony, any lasting thoughts on Teddy Long before we hit the break?
Great individual. Great individual.
I'd love to have him here in the studio. I think he'd be fun.
I think he would love it.
A lot of stories.
Yeah, when next time in this area, you let me know and I'll get there, Teddy. He dropped by here. He'd be glad to do it.
All right, sounds good. All right,
He's on Twitter all the time.
He's a Twitter guy?
Oh, he loved Twitter, man. He tried to get me on that.
We'll have to send him a link to this show so you can hear about your stories.
He would love it. You should ask him to tell you some Tony Atlas stories.
Oh, I'd love to hear his
he would
Tony
love it.
Atlas
He got a lot
stories.
of Tony Atlas stories.
Does he?
Oh, yeah. He liked me because he thought I was nuts.
Did he? Why did he think you were nuts?
Because I am. Oh. My wife
True
said,
words have never been spoken.
Yeah.
All right, wrestling fans, before the Hall of Famer passes up.
You think you know your favorite superstar? Did you know about Sasha's favorite cousin? What about AJ's tattoos? Chris Jericho's expensive taste? No. You need the book that has everything you want to know about more than 200 of your favorite WWE superstars. It's the WWE Ultimate Superstar Guide.
New Orleans. On Tuesday, February 19th, WWE SmackDown Live brings you a night of thrills as AJ Styles collides with Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. Plus, anything goes as Asuka, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch battle it out in a triple threat match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Also see Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, and The New Day. It's WWE SmackDown Live in New Orleans on Tuesday, February 19th. Tickets and ringside packages are available.
They're ready to take their rightful place amongst the literary greats. Who, you ask?
The New Day!
That's who. It's the Book of Booty. Shake it, love it, never be it. It's the feel-good story of the rise of the New Day. Loaded with games, trivia, coloring pages, and so much more. The Book of Booty. Shake it, love it, never be it. Available now, online, or wherever books are sold.